everyone, welcome back to another Age of Empires 4 commentary. I am Beyond, and thank you so much for the support in the past couple videos and the channel as a whole. I truly cannot believe it, and I'm so happy to be here. Let's get right into this game today. We have LaSh in the green as the French rocking the throne, the golden throne in the middle of his town center. Now, LaSh is a streamer and content creator of his own, so we'll leave his links in the description below. He is an English/German streamer, so I would highly recommend checking him out. He was also a big shout out to LaSh. He was the second person ever to raid me on Twitch, which helped me get affiliate. So a huge shout out, and I really appreciate it. Going down below, we have tipsaoe.ttv, which, as you can see, Tips is currently playing the Malians in the red, and Tips is also a content creator on Twitch and YouTube. We'll leave his links in the description below. Tips focuses more on an educational style. He's very unique to watch. He's very soothing, very calming, so I would highly recommend it if you're very much so into education and a very relaxed stream. He's a great content creator and has been grinding his way up to Conqueror level 3, which where both these players currently sit. LaSh has had a huge improvement over the past year and he's been doing better and better in tournaments, and when they come back, I expect nothing less than him to go very far in those. Now, let's get right into the stats. That's why you come here, besides, maybe my commentary, but the stats for this one, the French versus the Malians, they have about a 30% win rate, about over 100 games in Conqueror and above. So not looking too French favorites. We'll have to see what LaSh does here to see if he can turn the tides. And then French sit at a 45% win rate against the Malians across about 1,800 games across every single rank. So honestly, it's pretty hard matchup for the French. I would assume that is mainly because of those damn donzos. I mean, let's just give essentially bow and arrows to spearmen. That is the French's worst nightmare, and they probably come to fruition a lot in this matchup. And the French are all about diving and getting early kills, and the Malians are all about that passive income. So killing villagers isn't as deadly as it might be to other civilizations. Now, of course, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that the Malian player can just lose villager after villager, but as you can see, they're all kind of clustered under here, and they're all going to come and hang out over here. Not too much moving out, not too much craziness is going to be going on, and they're already getting gold. As you can see, Tips' gold is going up by 87 per minute, and he doesn't have a soul on gold at the moment, which is why it's probably a little bit harder for the French classic rush, which we see 5 on the School of Cavalry. For LaSh means he wants to get that early knight out and about onto the map to do a little bit of damage. It's not nearly as effective as against other nations, such as other civs like China or English or X, Y, and Z. The Malians just they don't feel it quite as hard in the old pocketbooks. Now, this map's pretty open. It's not too bad for the French. We do see let's check out the bases over here. We do see that this side LaSh has a lot of both wood lines kind of matching, so an easy wall off here and an easy wall off over here. Actually, 3 little clusters as well. So LaSh is actually sitting pretty good in terms of wood, but can just wall these 2 off, and essentially half of his base is safe and sound with just the investment of about 50 wood. So LaSh is sitting in pretty good position. Honestly, I bet Tips wish he had that for his wall off against the French player, but Tips has a longer journey to go to wall off something like this. This one will probably be walled off first. Anytime you can wall off an entire section for about 30 wood, it is always worth it. So as you're playing the French, get used to just looking at your base when you first get it, and make sure your scout, you see everything. And if you see something small like this, and it's not a big investment, definitely wall it off as soon as you possibly can. Don't ruin your build order for it early on, but also just, make it so that you can do a little bit easier on yourself. We do have a lot of sheep being currently attacked by a town center, so not too great there for Tips if he were to lose. That's like 6 sheep. It's a whole herd, so do not want to be losing that. We see the early wheelbarrow coming out for the French player, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a 2TC build. It's pretty common these days, 2TC French. I thought for a second he was just going to bring the whole squad out to stone. I was like, I swear to God, I didn't watch this replay beforehand, but he did not. It was all to the straggler trees at once. There's the archery range going down. The classic knight archer combo is going to be coming out for LaSh, and we have the donzos out early on. Now the archers obviously counter the donzos counter the knights, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a donzo archer composition coming out of tips or moving into those sofas later on. Both of which could be very, very effective. Sofa donzo sounds like a pretty menacing force, but not a ton of DPS, so we'll have to wait and see how this thing goes. But that is one of the reasons why the Malians are so in the driver's seat for this matchup. Those donzos really do a number on these knights, especially early on before chivalry. Those donzos can run up to the knight, throw 2 spears, and voila. That chip damage is going to be happening a lot more. As we can see, a perfect example now, this unsuspecting knight is going to get 2 arrows to the back, 1, 2, boom, boom, down a quick 30 health, and all of a sudden, LaSh just got attacked, and there, I mean, I'm telling you, I'm just watching a lot of replays. It's just what it is. I do give decent advice, and I'm almost at plat 2, so I'm not the worst player in the entire world either. That being said, I don't remember to do this kind of stuff. But if you've made it this far into the video, and speaking of my plat 2 journey, if you've made it this far into the video, please do drop a like on the video. I'd very, very much so appreciate it. And if you're enjoying the content as a whole, I would love it if you click that subscribe button. We are on our journey to 1,000 subscribers, and we are already at 624, which is absolutely insane. The growth in the past month has been wild. And if you enjoy some subpar gameplay and you don't want to watch these two lovely gentlemen over here on Twitch, I also stream about 1 to 2 times a week on Twitch my journey to Diamond. It used to be my journey to plat, but we absolutely smashed it the last stream out, and we're now almost plat 2. We're about 6 points away from plat 2, so come join me on my journey to Diamond. I don't encourage backseating, but I'm open to it. I'm more flexible than most. I will at least listen if you prove yourself as a good advice giver. Now, that being said, we have 5 donzos out on the map at the current moment into 3 archers and 1 knight. So LaSh is obviously not looking to do any sort of damage, and there it is, the stone outcropping, which means we're dropping that old TC. Where is it going? There's a lot of nice spots over here. There's like some lovely over here. This one is absolutely picture perfect. The lads decided to get some gold. Huh. They'll be dropping soon, I believe, right? They have enough resources for it. A little bit all right. I don't think that's what that wanted to do. There we go. Where are we going? Drop it like it's hot. Maybe just doing a little bit of cheeky mining to get it done. But here we go. We're going to drop it. We're going to drop it onto the deer. Perfect. A very nice selection, a nice choice, if you will, from LaSh. This has berries, it has deer, it has stone, it has gold. This is a beautiful expansion. It also protects the trade if LaSh is so inclined. So this is a wonderful expansion for LaSh. He's going to be reaping the rewards very, very soon from all these things. Of course, the French get that upgraded villager production buff. As you can see, 17 seconds over yonder, 20 seconds over here. It is a little bit juiced. We do see the cows are already starting to come in. The cattle ranch style is going in. Have to see if we're going to see a cow boom. I'm not really sure. If not, well, if this is left open, then there's a chance. If we see a little kind of circular thing like this, then we know it's going to be going that route. If not, we'll just be seeing a lot of military. Now, LaSh did kind of trick his opponent into kind of a little bit overproduction. As you can see, 8 donzos and 3 javelin throwers for really nothing. And there's only 1 knight out on the field. So these donzos are getting absolutely wrecked, or should I say shreked, by these archers. The cows are being produced, and they're making the long journey over to these cattle ranches. But you don't even need a cowboy, so it's pretty easy to get these cows on over. I'm sure in real life it's not that simple. You can't just produce one over here and in there, and you just tell them to walk on over, and they'll just hit the mark every single time. Probably need someone to make sure they actually get there. But we do see, it looks like it might be a little bit of a cow boom going on. It has all the makings for such a thing. We also see a lot on gold, which is the Malian special. We see a lot of floating gold for tips, which means we assume that we're going to be seeing the... oh, why can't I remember the name? But once it pops up, I will remember the name quite quickly. But there's only 1 knight on the field. So LaSh is quite content, didn't overinvest. I do like this play out of LaSh. As you can see, already up by 8 villagers at the current moment. And there are 9 donzos on the field for just 1 knight. And that knight has not died. It got a little bit of chip damage. It also caused all these walls. And there's a yawn. yawn count. We'll edit that out for sure. But besides that, I mean, talk about value for a knight. One knight got this kind of response. Absolutely madness. Now the archers are playing their role into the econ production. They're pushing these deers towards the towards this and doing a little bit of extra shooting for their villagers so they can just focus on building out that keep, out that tower. Remember, guys, if you are going out onto the map, if you're playing a civilization that's not the English or not the Chinese and you are forced, well, sorry, I mean mainly the Chinese, not until later, but if you are playing a civilization that is forced to kind of go out on the map to get all that food, which China does in the early game, so that's why I took it back, remember to drop an outpost when you do it. Particularly, you can only bring 5. LaSh currently has a few more because he feels pretty safe with these 12 archers next to it. But remember to always build an outpost. 1, it provides a lot of vision, so you can see from a whiles away if they're going to be attacked. And 2, if it's just a small raiding party, everyone can hop into the outpost and everyone will be safe and sound. The last thing you want to do is be giving up your villager lead as the French into this matchup, because every damage done by the Malians is definitely a good one. Now right here, these archers can now see these these donzos so far in advance because of this outpost, which made it so that they were able to shoot in from the stealth forest and push that army back almost immediately. If they weren't there and this outpost wasn't there, then the donzos would have made it a lot closer to these archers, and there's a chance that there would have been a few snipes onto some villagers if LaSh went the correct way, or LaSh went the wrong way with those archers. There is the Grand Corral. That is what I was missing. But as you can see, a perfect semicircle for Tips. This is an absolute thing of beauty. The cow boom is in full effect. We're going to see his food go through the absolute roof. Currently sitting at 750, but it's going to go on. It's going to go way up from there. And this is per cow. I remember the last comment. So that's absolutely insane that this is per cow. Watch this number go through the roof once this corral goes up and running. And this cow boom is very, very popular right now, and I'm sure into the French it is very hard to stop. Tips has a full-on wall-off going on right now, so he's feeling very, very safe, very, very good about his economy, and I'm sure LaSh is feeling the exact same way. Completely untouched, has so many on food, has the availability to do whatever he really wants. Will probably be going up to Castle Age in a short time, and has no really cares in the world at the current moment. He knows that Tips is probably going for this cow boom kind of strategy. I'm sure he's also scouted many times and seeing the start of these cattle ranches, which means that there is the age up for Tips, and the food permit is going to be going up and up. And now we can see a lot of these villagers going back to these wood lines, and we're just kind of moving on from here. We can see that Tips is quickly investing in almost every upgrade that he could click as fast as humanly possible. Still floating a good amount of resources. As you can see, that food number is going up. And just a fun fact, there's only 5 on food for that number. Isn't that crazy? We are closing in on 1,000 food per minute, and there's only 5 people on food. There is a few on a berry bush over here, and that is it. Now, we do see a lot of sofas coming out, which is what you'd expect out of this competition. We expected sofa, javelin thrower, because the sofa, donzos, because of the normal competition. But LaSh is switching up to man-at-arms. So actually, I love this switch. These donzos are going to be eaten alive. These javelin throwers aren't going to do that good into them. Man-at-arms archers is the composition coming out of the French player. Hey, if you want to take on a losing matchup, this is the way to do it. You know, throw a little bit of new stuff into the mix. I absolutely love men-at-arms and their animations and their little hats with the French. Look at those little things. They are amazing. I absolutely love it. The squad is looking nice. LaSh knows whatever is coming from this outpost. Actually, wouldn't even mind another outpost over here. We are in the age up as well, so relics should be starting to be collected. No relic has been touched just yet, but I wouldn't be surprised to see one coming out. There's the monastery for LaSh, so we're going to be trying to move out with his army very soon. We have 9 in queue and 14 on the field, so this competition could be quite deadly. Honestly, and everything gets kind of shredded by these archers, and this men-at-arms front line is going to provide such a good front line into this composition. As you can see, LaSh is trying to keep these men-at-arms far behind, does not want them to be scouted out until the very last second, and there they go. The javelin throwers do pick off a cheeky little archer. Now they're aware. They're like, what is that? A cluster of French men-at-arms are moving out. This scout just taking L's left and right. It's absolutely swamped, and here they are. it looks like LaSh has finally decided to move out. And there it is. There we go. That scout goes down. Now, we do have some horsemen involved. But at this point, I mean, these men-at-arms can tank these things for days. They're kind of like knights in that facet. But they're trying to provide a front line for all of these. We have more men-at-arms going over here, and they're picking off all of these units. That being said, this sofa surround by Tips is so nice on this archer mass in the backhand side. And these men-at-arms are going to be absolutely eaten alive and cleaned up as they're fighting underneath the town center, and a whole bunch of sofas. There are 17 sofas on the map currently, 18 and 6 more are on the way. So we have a lot. I would not be surprised to see spearmen start to come out on the side of LaSh, because you have to deal with these somehow, some way. Now, these are just absolutely juiced up horsemen. If you didn't realize that sofas are just that, dude, they are that good for sure. And there's the imams trying to collect a few of these relics as well. This is the main contestant point over here. As we can see, there's already one in tow, and I believe there's a few more of them picked up already. That being said, we have another engage over here. Sofas are trying to do their best, but once they're surrounded by these men-at-arms, they do kind of get eaten alive a little bit, and they don't do too much damage to the men-at-arms themselves, because they're not actually knights. They're heavy melee cavalry, so they're like a version of knights. It's like a pseudo mix in between. So as you can see, they're getting absolutely clobbered by these men-at-arms and doing such a good trade. This monk's also in the back, providing a lot of healing. And here is the first spear on the map. That spear is going to be followed by a few of his friends, and those are going to be so good. LaSh used this engagement to snipe this relic, which is how good is that? So worth it trade, and is going to be getting another one over here. Sofa's found a few lads over here collecting some food, and they're going to be chased down quite quickly. These sofas are going to be surrounded by these spearmen, and they're going to be quickly taken down, but Tips is able to get 3 kills before anything happens there, which is always really nice, and this one will be able to annoy the crap out of LaSh as he goes in and out of his base. We're switching up to a spearman crossbowman mix for LaSh, and just pure sofa still. 10 on the way. Cowboom allows you to do whatever you want. Might be going up to Imperial Age soon as well. There is the market, so we might be seeing some trade, or we're just seeing a little bit of sales of certain goods, if you will. And we also see, actually capturing a sacred site as well. And there are the poison arrows. We have warrior scouts. We have everything coming out for LaSh, for Tips. And Tips is also responding with getting 2 sacred sites of his own. We have a keep being dropped over here because Tips has essentially unlimited resources with that cow boom going on. So LaSh is, while in a very good spot in terms of villager count, is definitely in a rough spot in terms of this econ. You're going to need to do some econ damage quite quickly. We still don't see any knights coming out for LaSh, so the French and no knights, it's such a weird thing to think about and honestly kind of watch. But there is the keep, the perfectly kind of done there by LaSh, making sure there's enough room. If you didn't know, the reason why French players always build a keep in the front of their base is because if you surround it with this, it helps with the production of their stables and archery ranges. So 20% is decreased, and that is including the School of Cavalry, which makes those things absolutely cook. That's why knights pop out so quickly. The farm transition has been found by this group of sofas, and so has this monk. Rest in peace, my friend. You're going to be surrounded and quite quickly dealt with. It wasn't meant to be over here. Sofas have also stopped this expansion over here, and now they're in on the farm transition. We do see the crossbowmen. Now they see the keep, and they know that they can't really run into that. As you can see, one already goes down from the crossfire. And we have Castle Age Spearmen kind of making their way out and trying to deal a little bit of damage. The Imam and the sofa over here is trying to decap this. And the 2 archers are decapping the middle sacred site. Just out of range of this fort, or this keep, but is able to secure a forward pit mine over here. So 3 pit mines are up and running for Tips, which is what you love to see. More sofa raids, more villagers have been killed. 9 villagers dead at this point, now up to 10. And just continually this beautiful aggression and micro here from Tips is really starting to pay off. Unfortunately here, it looks like we lost control over them a little bit, and they're starting to dive in on this keep, which is not what you love to see, especially for one crossbowman. We're going to be losing a lot of extras that we didn't need to be losing, but that's okay. It happens to the absolute best of us when you're not really paying attention for a hot second, and all of a sudden you're people start to dive things they shouldn't be diving. And that's what the sofas just did there. We have a group of sofas over here being chased down by spearmen. They are making their way all the way around. And actually, we have a cheeky little relic back here. I wonder if LaSh has spotted this. If he hasn't yet, these spearmen will be able to spot it soon, and they'll be sending a prelate. This little monk over here will probably be sent out packing quite quickly. LaSh also has to move on from this lumber patch to probably over here a little bit sooner. We do see another wall off going in over here, and there they go. Now they see the relic itself, so we'll have to wait and see. The monk is already out and about. Like I said, the second LaSh saw that, I knew he was going to be moving out, and it took about 3 seconds, and that is not where you want to go. You're going to be absolutely left behind. The rest of these sofas will be cleaned up completely, and there they go. There's one more shot. Gets one more. Can one make it out? Unfortunately, yes. Yes, he can. Nope, he's going to run into another one. But another raid over here from all these sofas. We have 40 out on the map, 10 in production. We have Tips is completely taking over his side of the map, 23 archers as well, and is floating so much gold at this point. Just constantly mining from every situation, and has 2 relics as well. LaSh has 3 relics at this point, though. Or he should. Where's the little monk? There he is. The squad is over here, and we're just keep diving. That one sheep is in tandem. You see him? You see the lad just running about? Look at him. Just like, guys, I'm one of you. Don't worry about me. I'm just a sofa. Living my absolute best life. Also, just talk about the legs on this sheep, though. Just keeping up with just full-grown horses. You absolutely love to see it. It's a heartwarming story. And as you can see, he never gets left behind. The lads will always bring him along so he can get in on the raiding as well. Now, Tips is doing a great job moving out, taking control over really a lot of piece of this map. LaSh has created himself a nice little bunker, very safe place. Almost 100 villagers have been produced at this point. We have a lot of crossbows as the French. Obviously, these are the juiced up ones. I usually butcher their names, so I don't say it as often, but arbitraire. And it just comes with a lot of anti-armor. It's just like they're so good, and they do a little bit. They also come with a little bit of melee armor, so they're not as easy to dive as traditional crossbows, which is very nice. Now, as you can see, the sofas are doing a little bit of damage on this back end wall, and we have this group over here diving even more. We have 16 villagers that have been killed. This farm transition is very difficult, and there they are. They're going to get surrounded once again. And it's just going to be constantly running around trying to lock down these damn sofas. And LaSh is being put through the absolute ringer right now with how many raids are going down. I would not be surprised if we see LaSh starting to put up some stone walls, because it's very annoying. Now, they did run in headlong into a group of spearmen, which did not end well in their favor. Both players are floating a lot of resources at the current moment. They're setting up their economies completely at this point. Obviously, Tips has more of the map, and at this point, it's just all sofas. 53 in total on the map. We do have a Sacred Site victory approaching. I would assume that LaSh is able to desync this one quite quickly, but we'll have to wait and see. There is the Red Palace, actually very forward placed, trying to secure this gold over here, and Tips actually has a counterweight trebuchet already over here, and his own keep is going to be going up, which I don't think LaSh can put this down. We have the race of the keeps. Oh, wait, is LaSh going to do it? Oh, my God, he's actually doing it. Oh, my goodness. It's actually happening. This is going to be a full-on engage. And they're going to be diving these villagers. The quicker they can go down. Sofa's going to be diving in on these over here. We're going to need some spearmen on this hand side. The trebuchet is providing a lot of cover. And these sofas that ran over here made the mistake. They're now diving in onto LaSh's villagers on the backhand side. The red keep looks like it might be going down. And there it is. It's now going to be taking out the rest. And this keep is also going to be going down, but there's already a trebuchet here, and the red keep is already half health. This keep also is down, and we have sofas more diving in on the backhand side for all these crossbowmen. Sofas are getting eaten alive by this red keep, though. But there's a trebuchet, though, as well, which is making it even worse for wear over here. Now the two keeps are going to be going at it, but the red keep is obviously a little bit superior in this way. But this keep is also absolutely pelting these crossbowmen. There's two counterweight trebuchets, though. They're going to have to be defending this quite quickly, and the crossbow mass has moved out to start to take out some pot shots. We have more and more sofas on the way, and retreating to their own red keep. Red keep is providing so much cover fire and allowing this French army to really move in onto this. The crossbowmen are trying to take out this counterweight trebuchet, but it is so difficult. It takes like barely any damage from ranged attacks. There we go. They're going to be taking out one of them. One of them goes pop, but there's still one over here just hanging out. And it's not going to be going down anytime soon. The Red Palace is being repaired at all costs, but this keep is standing strong. Also, how is Red Palace keep? Why doesn't it click on the keep? Keep. This keep is getting absolutely peppered by this red. Look at that damage. Oh my goodness. Like, what is happening over here? There is just so many things. This is absolutely crazy, and I believe that LaSh has finally won the war. Look at how quickly the Red Palace deals with other structures. It's absolutely insane. I didn't expect it to go that quickly. As you can see, now the villagers are moving out to try to secure some gold. But these archers are going to make quick work of all of these lads over here, 23 in total. And we have 26 archers, but they're not going to be making a move. They actually are. We also have a stone wall going up as well. Tips. There we go. Look at those beautiful poison shots going out and over. We do have a lot of crossbowmen here to try to deal with a little bit of this. And here they go. But look at how quickly those archers deal with these crossbowmen. We love the poison effect. It looks like they're like Ghastly from Pokemon. They're gonna be moving all the way back. This red keep, though, anyone gets anywhere near this thing, and it's absolute pepper city. Look at that mangonel, just lickety split, done and dusted. And anytime you even get close to it, it's going to be absolutely zapping you down. We do love that Tips is putting up this stone wall over here, and here comes a ram to attack the counterweight trebuchet, or assume that there was another outpost over here. You know, just to soak damage as well. We love that from as well. LaSh is now is of course in Imperial Age, so now these men at arms are a lot. We still have not seen one knight come out for LaSh, and LaSh should be able to take this out. I believe the ram was just for vision. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think the ram, that was an absolute 5-head play there by LaSh. Absolutely using all the resources to his advantage. I've seen Loose Front in the past use a sheep to get vision. I've seen it all, but I believe that ram was just there just to kind of just see what was going on. You know, just take a little peek-see. But this is an Imperial Age army into a Castle Age army for these Malians, and that is not a trade that you want to be doing in the slightest. Tips is floating 6,000 gold. It might be time to go to Imperial very, very soon. Because if you don't, I mean, the French right now are just winning just because Imperial upgrades, almost fully upgraded army as well. As you can see, LaSh has been meticulous about these upgrades, and it's absolutely showing. These men at arms are making mincemeat of this Malian army, and they're moving out quickly. This springhold is here as well. I'm assuming to counter the other springholds that were supposed to be coming, but LaSh is, you know, he's creative. He's like, you know what, they're going to think this, so I'm going to do this. And no one's expecting not only one knight created in a 30-minute game as the French. Another keeps looking to go down, but LaSh is moving in with these Imperial Age men at arms, and they don't care at all. They'll start to dive, and they'll start to cut through any remaining villagers. I will say, Chips has done an excellent job at the current moment. We do see has done a great job of keeping up with villager production, and has also killed 43 of them at this point, which is absolutely insane. Now more continue to go down, and LaSh is making mincemeat. Sorry, LaSh has killed 46. Look at these. They're just absolutely, it's an absolute bloodbath. More and more go down, up to 50, up to 17. There we go. It's just like back and forth, back and forth. I think we also have some sofas in the backhand side that are doing so much damage as well. 50 villagers, 51. Tips has been on a villager killing spree with all these sofas, but as you can see, now we're really down to almost nothing, and there's a huge men-at-arms mass in his base, and they're killing cows. They're killing cows. It's going to cause so much damage and so much annoyance. Look at them just slicing them down left and right. These archers can do absolutely nothing to these Imperial Age men-at-arms. Even these sofas can't really do much about it. They have to surround them and just poke them down ever so slightly. We have some big old lumps of steak on the ground just waiting to see what happens, but this is absolutely destroying Tips' economy, and LaSh knows that the longer this game goes on, he's Imperial Age right now. He is currently has the safe resources. He has everything at the current moment. They're almost tied in villagers, but Tips has killed over 50, and LaSh is still currently winning, which is absolutely insane. These men-at-arms will finally go down, but LaSh is going to replenish this army quite quickly and redistribute back to get all these farms back up and running, which, as you can see, that's the plan. We're probably going to be throwing down a few keeps as well, just to make sure that we're safe and sound. Looks like Tips is going to be doing a little bit of annoyance here. This little toll outpost is going to be causing so much annoyance to this gold vein. It's going to be shutting it down before it even gets down to half, which is absolutely insane. There they go. Nope, it looks like it's going to be quickly dealt with the old Molotov cocktail special. Getting just quick and done and dusted. We have a little bit of a gold stash there. It's going to be going down quite quickly, and voila, it's all over, and these villagers go back to peacefully mining away. This keep in the middle of the map has kept Tips pretty safe at this point, but now we have villagers moving over here, which, what do we got? What do we got going on over here? Is LaSh just going to keep dropping? Yes, he is. And there goes the other keep that we saw him mining stone for. This keep is going to be accompanied with another attack. It doesn't look like it. We have a few attacks over here, but nothing has really been seen over yonder. It looks like Tips is going to be giving this up quite quickly, realizing that there's no way he can actually take this down before it actually goes up. So this pit mine is going to be completely destroyed before it even goes up, which is actually great for LaSh and super annoying for Tips. These Imperial Age archers also just went down up top, and there's more and more killing. I'm missing so many things. There's so much going on right now. As the more we watch, we just kind of wait and see. As you can see, keep after keep after keep, town center after town center over here. It's just every which way. Where is the last landmark? It's over yonder. The Fortress of the Huntress has been built on this overside to protect this final pit mine. But unfortunately for the Malian player, there's nothing he can really do about having this pit mine go down, and that fortress is going to be going down, but it's going to be quite useful because there's going to be a stone wall in its face almost immediately. As you can see, we do have a counter trebuchet going down, and it's going to be coming in and trying to take down this keep over yonder. Now we'll have to wait and see if LaSh can summon up a force to go and protect it. If not, it's understandable. And around this red keep, I'm assuming we're going to see a lot more production going down. We can see lots of rams actually coming out. The old ram ranch is coming out from LaSh. Going to be doing lots and lots of damage over here and taking down whatever comes in his way. Now sofas are moving in over here, but this one trebuchet is going to be able to take this down quite comfortably. It's going to be a slow process for sure. LaSh is going to be quite content with just getting as much of this gold as he possibly can. Has already taken 300 from this gold vein over here. Probably continue to take even more. We have rams constantly in production over here, and LaSh still has an entire cluster of trees on the backhand side. We have the university doing these high-end upgrades, and this keep is trying to make itself save face over here. We have the entire Malian army over here. It looks like we're trying to have another stone wall going up, but that's not gonna, there's no way that can help with these two trebuchets over here. We do have the rams being seen from Tips, but these crossbowmen are shooting fire darts right now, and they're absolutely roasty toasting these sofas, and they can't get around these big bulky men-at-arms. What if I told you that LaSh was in the driver's seat with only making one knight? I don't think I would believe you. I don't think I believe you as a French, but this is absolutely insane. We love to see this new unique strategy out of LaSh. This has been an absolute blast so far to cast, and we have quite a while left, because if there's anything that I know about this, it takes forever. And when people start producing rams like this, you're gonna take some time for sure. We do have stables going in, so we might be switching into knights at this current moment. We don't have any spearmen on the map, so it actually wouldn't be the worst transition ever from LaSh if he went for these knights now. And he has the resources as well, and there is the royal bloodline, so we might be seeing the knight transition, which was going to throw off Tips, I know for sure. And they're actually diving this keep over here. Everyone's actually able to get in quite safely, but these 13 are going to be going down very, very soon. 2 more shots are going to be going down, and then it's going to be an absolute barbecue. One 2, and there it goes, and there is the whole squad. And they're getting absolutely poisoned down, which is brutal to see. Tips is actually now taking the lead with his 3 TCs over here and completely cleans up this entire force. But at this point, though, LaSh is moving in with even more forces, 29 men-at-arms and 26 of these very, very fancy crossbowmen. They're actually running face first into a keep, though, which is very, very unfortunate. Just a little bit of a run by. Probably would have loved to see the men-at-arms tank that instead of these very squishy and very expensive crossbowmen. But we've lost a few on our journey here, but they're getting into the food line. Oh my goodness. LaSh is relentless, and he's just going to be sacrificing for doing so much economic damage. And there they go. They're absolutely one-tapping everyone. And now they're moving in. These Sofas are trying to defend, but they can't do much about it. And it looks like these men-at-arms, they're now focusing in on these cattle ranches yet again. And there they go. There only 3 more remains. They're going to be quick to put them out of their misery. That's another one going down. Now they're going to surround these Sofas, doing so much damage, and they're so cheap. LaSh is actually transitioning to mass horsemen. Are we going to see a landmark snipe? That would be absolutely insane if that was the case. We do have a lot of poison archers doing a lot of damage, but not nearly enough, because now these men-at-arms are going to be moving over here. They're absolutely just tickling them, and they're taking out the entire economy for the Malian player. That's what LaSh knows he has to do. Just cut this down as much as he possibly can. But Tips has 130 villagers, though. Doesn't really care too much about this back inside. No one's trading. It's a gentleman's agreement. Tips has been trading for quite some time at this point. We have a full setup. 59 per trip. 57 for this one. Yep, looks like we're doing a full-on trade, so LaSh knows he has to do something here to put a stop to this nonsense, and here they come. 34 horsemen are coming in quite quickly. These Sofas are trying to stop this wall from going down. Looks like they're going to be very, very successful. Actually, keeps it with 9 health. Here's the horsemen. They're going to be running in on these archers. And there they go. They're going to be starting to take these out. That's going to be a great trade for LaSh and company. This is going to be absolutely wonderful. There's only 2 Sofas out in the map, and the rest are archers. Where is the rest of Tips? Has no resources besides food. He has nothing besides food. He's out of everything else. He needs more. He needs to start doing this, and here he's already doing that. But he's got nothing else because that food transition was ripped apart, and all of his villagers are kind of hanging out. He has plenty. And these traders take quite a while to start to ramp up, and now they're being poked down by the spears of these horsemen. And LaSh is going to continue in on these horsemen, having absolutely no fear, and they're just taking down, just idly standing by villagers. It's an absolute insane metric. We have more and more gold coming out for Tips, so he should be able to start producing things. But at this point, there's a whole bunch of stuff in his production lines, and they're going to be absolutely cooking everything. LaSh is very, very comfortable. No red dots over here, but we have raid after raid. LaSh is catching up in villager kills as well, has now taken the villager lead. We have 62 to 78, an absolute masterclass. I thought for sure he was going to be switching to knights, and look at all these red dots. They're just everywhere. The raids are coming fast and furious. It's like Fast and Furious 10 up in here. There's so much damage being done to all these things. We have spicy crossbows, as I'm going to call them, the crossbows that shoot the fire. They're in the full trade line, and there's a GG's from Tips. What an awesome game. Thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, I really do appreciate it. Please do drop a like and subscribe. That would mean the world to me. And as always, have a great night.